The ginger tea remedy is something I've used for years now, since I quit drinking, to get a physical edge in the gym, to improve my recovery after, and to improve my overall health. A drink made with ginger, turmeric, lemon, honey, black pepper, and cayenne pepper is packed with antioxidants, packed with anti-inflammatory compounds, packed with vitamins and minerals, and together in quite a broad spectrum way, they protect you against inflammation, oxidative stress, and attacks on your immune system. So if you would like better metabolic health, which will reduce your long-term risk of serious disease, will help you with things like weight loss in the medium term, and will improve your performance in the here and now, meal prepping ginger tea and drinking it consistently is a great thing to do for yourself. And being consistent in something so healthy has never been so easy because it tastes great and meal prepping it isn't difficult. The bulk of this video will be about how best to efficiently meal prep a batch of ginger tea, and I'll break down more of the health benefits as the video progresses, but the claim ginger tea can reduce your long-term risk of serious disease needs to be addressed because it's a serious one. I'm not a doctor, so I will include the medical studies in the description that I'm simply quoting. For example, the claim that regularly consuming ginger reduces your risk of developing certain chronic diseases and will protect you from some cancers comes directly from ginger and its constituents, Role in Prevention and Treatment of Gastrointestinal Cancer, a good paper that can be found on the PubMed NIH website. I'm not saying ginger tea is a magic shield, but there are bioactive compounds in each ingredient which work together to support your immune system, to reduce chronic inflammation, to fight off oxidative stress, which are all the exact ways one would want to go about reducing their long-term risk of serious disease over time. Nothing stated in this video is made up. Again, all sources will be supplied. My father succumbed to colorectal cancer, and my interest is not wild, unfounded claims. It's how myself and others can avoid something similar happening to us, and it's all based on everything I've read in the years since his death and all my conversations with various cancer doctors that we encountered over the course of a very long battle. It's also worth noting, ahead of diving in, that the health benefits of ginger tea are not just protective in nature, they are also performance enhancing in nature. There have been interesting papers like Ginger and Testosterone, a systematic review of a large collection of in vivo studies linking ginger supplementation to enhanced testosterone because of increased luteinizing hormone, boosted antioxidant enzyme activity, better blood sugar regulation, and the previously mentioned point about how it reduces oxidative stress. A lot more research is needed in this particular area, but anecdotal evidence in the fact ginger has been used in traditional medicine for millennia seems to point in the direction that there is something causal in the realm of ginger and hormone health, at least indirectly, and we should also consider that there is some lag between what is proven in the literature and what we know intuitively. I know ginger tea fires me up, and whether this is because of all the benefits of the various ingredients, like how ginger reduces muscle soreness, capsaicin and cayenne increases blood flow, natural sugar and honey provides an energy boost, for example, or because the concoction itself boosts testosterone, the effect is the same. The point is there is an impressive range of direct and indirect benefits of regularly drinking ginger tea. So let's dive right into preparing a batch. The first step is grating a bunch of ginger. Right off the bat I want to say, the proportions of each ingredient are more personal preference than anything. I know this is not what some people want to hear who want exact measurements, but there is no exact, scientifically formulated and agreed upon amount for each ingredient. As long as you have all six together in a glass you can't lose. Personally, I like extra ginger, extra lemon, extra honey, extra turmeric, extra black pepper, and I guess extra cayenne pepper. Basically, I like a highly concentrated batch, but it's up to you. If you like it more sweet, like me, add more honey. If you like less turmeric, add less turmeric. You will still benefit from the same health benefits, even if you reduce the amounts, because in the end, the benefits don't just depend on dosage, but the bioavailability and consistency, which depend more on how the drink is formulated. You will see how there is synergy in the effects of each ingredient, which enhance bioavailability, and as mentioned, it's not hard to be consistent when this combination tastes so good and is easy to prepare. So once we peel the ginger, we can begin to shred it. Notice I wasn't super particular about the skin. Removing every bit of skin isn't critical because the skin floats, and if it really bothers you, you can skim it off the surface of the pot later. You may also notice that I'm using the Chinese ginger in this video. I do think it's better to use organic, non-GMO ingredients, but man, I also like bang for my buck and more ginger in my ginger tea. So decide based on your own priorities. Organic ginger root is a lot smaller, and you don't end up with this sort of mountain of shredded ginger that I personally like for making my tea. Anyways, once you've shredded the ginger, it's time to boil it. I used to boil the ginger along with the turmeric, black pepper, and cayenne pepper, but I like a nice stainless steel pot and the turmeric stains, so I started adding it at the end, along with the black pepper and cayenne pepper. As for the boiling process, the more the better. It's like boiling bones for bone broth. The longer the ginger tea sits on the stove, the more you extract the bioavailable compounds. Furthermore, when you boil ginger, some gingerols get converted into shogaols, which are actually more potent and provide even stronger health benefits. Shogaols formed through heating provide better pain relief, a better reduction in inflammation, and better digestion, and there's the element of better and stronger flavor. So in short, we boil ginger as opposed to simply adding shredded ginger into cold water for flavor, potency, and health benefits. Today, I'm bringing it to a boil, then down to a simmer, then I'm going to turn it off and let it sit on the stove while I go to the gym. Now in the evening, I'm going to bring it to a boil again, then down to a simmer again, and then I'm just going to let it sit on the stove overnight. The following day, I'm going to portion out the tea and package it up. For storage, I like these individual mini mason jars. They are great sealers and the perfect size for a daily dose. In addition to these glasses, I'm going to get everything else I need in terms of ingredients. I've got honey, 3 lemons for this batch, some nice turmeric my friend brings back from India, some super hot cayenne pepper, and black pepper. The first things that I will add is turmeric and cayenne pepper, and you see how unbelievably scientific I am about the portions of each. Turmeric is a potent anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, and supports joint health. The capsaicin in cayenne pepper improves circulation and reduces inflammatory signaling. Once both of these have been added, you can give it a stir and you'll see it will start to look like ginger tea. Now comes the hard part, portioning it out. No measuring cups, no frill, just dump. You want to prepare your ginger tea in such a way it's not overly complicated and elaborate and doesn't involve a lot of mess and dishes to clean up, so it's not a big ordeal each time. So again, you can be consistent in it. It's not overwhelming to prep your weekly or bi-weekly batch. I just portion it out directly out of the pot and wipe the counter if there's a spill. Notice how I never strain the ginger, and I even give it a stir right before I started pouring. I'm more than happy for a few strands of ginger making their way into each glass. This is really nice insoluble fiber that you can chew down if you get a few pieces in a sip. Now it's time for a few turns of black pepper in each jar. Again, not scientific. It's not so much about the quantity as it is about how much you like based on your taste, with the only requirement being some amount of black pepper. We just need to get it into our ginger tea because black pepper boosts absorption through its active compound piperin, which is surprisingly powerful, which when combined with certain nutrients or plant compounds like curcumin from the turmeric that we've added, or gingerols from the ginger that we added, or shogaols from the ginger when we boiled it, piperin can increase bioavailability by up to 2,000% in some cases. Now you see that the ginger tea remedy is less a recipe and more designed for maximizing the health benefits of each ingredient. See the landmark study, The Influence of Piperin on the Pharmacokinetics of Curcumin in Animals and Human Volunteers, published in Plantamedica in 1998. We're almost done. Now it's time for some lemon. I like to make sure that the ginger tea is fully cooled before adding lemon because I don't want to destroy the vitamin C. Vitamin C supports immune function because it supports white blood cell production, and together with citric acid, it stabilizes antioxidants, and in the presence of acids and sugars, the absorption of minerals like iron and magnesium is further enhanced. The final thing to add is honey. Like lemon, we must make sure it's not hot when we do this because we don't want to degrade the nice polyphenols and enzymes in honey. These are nice antioxidants and antimicrobial and antibacterial compounds which support gut health and boost your immune system. We don't want to destroy these with heat, and actually sugars when overheated undergo something called the Maillard reaction and caramelization. At high heat, this can form carcinogenic byproducts even in compounds which damage cells, advanced glycation end products, AGEs, which are linked to inflammation, aging, and oxidative stress, which are all the very things we're trying to avoid. Now that I've finished prepping this batch, it's time to clean up and store it. As I mentioned earlier, I prep 2 weeks worth at a time. People often ask how long you can keep ginger tea in the fridge. I've never had a problem with 2 weeks, and by now people have reported keeping it much longer. It comes down to cleanliness, avoid cross-contamination, and use a clean knife and a cutting board, etc. The ingredient blend naturally inhibits bacterial and mold growth to some extent. Lemon acidity lowers the overall pH, slowing microbial growth. Honey, as we discussed, is antimicrobial. Turmeric, black pepper, and cayenne pepper contain curcumin, piperin, and capsaicin, which all have antibacterial and antifungal properties. And ginger is, of course, naturally antimicrobial, but take extra care if you want to keep it for weeks at a time. So in conclusion, you can see how ginger, lemon, honey, turmeric, black pepper, and cayenne pepper work well together in ginger tea. There is a coactive and mutually reinforcing relationship between each ingredient. This makes ginger tea a potent, synergistic drink that amplifies the health benefit of each ingredient, improving absorption, anti-inflammatory effects, immune support, digestion, and even metabolic health. Even the flavor balance. Ginger has a sharp, spicy, and slightly bitter taste, while lemon acidity cuts through the spiciness and balances bitterness, and honey adds natural sweetness, which rounds out the flavor. All of the spices, turmeric, black pepper, and cayenne pepper, can be toggled to your liking. So let's take one last minute to summarize the top line benefit of the ginger tea remedy. In terms of immune support, ginger tea strengthens immune defenses, reduces inflammation, and helps your body fight infections more effectively. In terms of strength and vitality, ginger tea supports energy, maybe even hormone balance, circulation, and resilience. In terms of metabolic health, ginger tea improves blood sugar control, fat metabolism, gut health, and calorie efficiency. In terms of physical recovery and reduced inflammation, ginger tea helps repair muscles, reduce soreness, and accelerate recovery from workout stress and illness. In terms of the big claim of reducing long-term risk of serious disease, this was addressed in the introduction, but it protects against chronic disease like cancer, heart disease, neurodegeneration, and metabolic syndrome by lowering oxidative stress and chronic inflammation. I will put the summary of how all these top-line benefits work in the description, along with all of the citations. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please consider liking and subscribing. It really helps grow Sober Fitness and the mission of introducing fitness and healthier living to recovering alcoholics. And a reminder that you can get 50% off all of my fitness programs and recipes, which includes the ginger tea remedy with the Sober Fitness bundle.